Hi, fellow traders. I know it's been a week since I've done my last recap video, and that's really because all the trades have pretty much looked the same. They've all been slow movers or no movers. Um, the market just hasn't been working with the setups that I normally trade. So when that happens, you just, I just have to adapt and take the small moves that it gives me and, just stay above water until the market comes back to me. The worst thing you could do is just make big swings and make big changes to try to chase the market. And then you end up getting lost and you lose your identity as a trader and you find yourself chasing everything and trying to find people that's actually making money or claim they're making money and try to trade like them. And then you just get yourself all messed up. So in cases like this, you just sit on your hands, trade what you can, what you know, and take what the market can give you. And that's pretty much what I've been doing for the last week. But before we get started, I want to share with you um, something that's coming up. It's the Digital Stock Summit. I was asked to do an interview for it a couple months ago, and I had no idea what I was getting myself into. There are some pretty high-profile traders that are going to be doing Q&A sessions and giving interviews over, these couple of days, March 28th through April 1st. And it's free, for the time that it's going on. And, it's a pretty good thing. I mean, I'm kind of floored once I, saw who I was going to be on. And I probably would have been a little bit more apprehensive. But one of my things is, I don't want to, I hate being scripted. I always like being real. And, that's what this interview was. It was just, me, being me, being who I am. So if you can, if you've got the time, check it out. It will be recorded. I'm on day 3, March 30th with these 3 guys. And, it looks like it's going to be a real, awesome thing. And I'm looking forward to watching the interviews of these other guys and, learning as much as I can from them. I mean, so bookmark this, put it on your calendar, whatever day you can come, check it out, come check it out. And it's going to be, a great experience. The first trade I want to talk about is CVX. I think this was from Thursday. And this is kind of the way my trades have been going. This is a reversal trade. And, it hits my scan. I've got my levels drawn out. And, they're respecting the levels. And I'm looking for windows of opportunity between, the levels that I had. And this one was a little over $1. So, I was looking for it to hit, reject here so I could take it short and, make a little bit on it. And that's kind of what I did here. But unfortunately, it never did hit the 9. So I really didn't take the profit out of the first move that I really wanted. I was waiting for it to retest and come back. It did. And, looking for another entry. But it didn't. It pushed through this, held as support, made a little run up. Then when it came back down below this, I started watching the price action. And so I drew these trend lines here. I'm making a lower low and I'm making lower highs. So to me, this, stock is telling me that it's going to go down. So I was waiting to see if it was going to test this 93.95 level, up to 94, which is the whole dollar mark. these two things right next to each other are usually pretty strong. So I was looking for it to do the same thing it did here. And when the price action told me that it was looking like it was going to roll over, I went ahead and got, short again here. But I only went in with a third of what I wanted to get in with, because I was going to expect it to come back and test again. But it never did. It just washed out and it kept going down. So because I was only in 200 shares, there was no way I could, take off a little bit. I had to hold it, to my ultimate target, which was this. I could have, the idea would have been to get rid of some here at the 20, get rid of some here at the 92.75, the daily level, and then hold to see if we crack VWAP. But, with only a third position size, you have to hold it. And if you have a small account and all you could do is get 200 shares or 100 shares of this, then you have to hold for that entire move. You have to hold for what the move that you're looking for. And in this market, sometimes you won't get it. If you do, here's a point. So 100 shares is $100. And if you're building a small account, $100 on a trade like this, over a 30-minute span is nothing to sneeze at. So that was one of the better trades I had on CVX this week that I took on CVX, but was in too small to really, even make any money. Friday, HTZ was on my watch. I didn't really like the levels because, this is less than $1. I know the range looks wide, but that's one of those optical illusions. And there's really not a whole lot of profit potential in here. And I knew, I would have to size up a little bit to even make it happen. So I got in here right under the VWAP. And, I was looking for a bigger move back down to this level. But I was sized in to where I could add. So I wasn't taking profit anywhere. I was just looking for a move down to this first, or maybe a retest of this level so that, I could take profit. But as this was trading, it was chopping around and I was still holding. But then when I saw that I was making lower highs, but then higher lows, to me, this was one of the candlestick patterns that I learned how to read when I first started trading. When I first started, I had no indicators, no moving averages, no levels. I just learned candlestick patterns. And this was telling me that this ticker was probably going to push off the VWAP and go up. So this pattern has always been a little bullish when I saw it. So having a VWAP here just let me, and the moving averages just pretty much told me it was going to push up. And because of how choppy it was, I didn't want to go long. I just got out of it and, just took my punishment. Excuse me. But that's indicative of the trades that I had. Let's I'm gonna share one more. Win was another one. Just got chopped out of the gates. We made this big candle here, and I figured it was gonna settle down and probably fade below the VWAP, and it didn't. It did give it a little pop, and I actually held through all this mess because I was in small that I wanted to add. I really should have added here at 84, but I was nervous, didn't want to do it. I had this upper deviation band up here to give me some type of safety blanket, but I just didn't take it, and it slammed all the way back down and just started running up again. And here again, I see this pattern, and is telling me I'm making I'm making higher lows and I'm making higher highs. And that's another pattern that tells me that this stock's primed to move higher. That's a bullish, for me, that's a bullish pattern. And that's exactly what it's set up to do. And it pretty much went higher, you know, and never looked back. So that's been kind of a diary of the week that I've had really for the last 2 weeks. And it's just one of those things where, you just have to adapt to the market and just take what the market gives you. Here's this spot. This is the 5-minute chart over the last couple of days. And here's the daily chart. And you can see, this has been, pretty much all over the place for the last, this year. It's been down, bounced on this support here, and then it's just been making this big run up. And, ever since, had a blowout month in February, and then, March comes and, everything just starts to kind of go out on me. But, still keeping my head above water. And that's the main thing. Let me get back to the 5-minute chart here. And you can see this is pretty much over the last 2 weeks, what it's looked like. There's just no really direction. You had this big wash day here on the 10th, which was Thursday. And that was the day that, I had the best move, just didn't have the size to benefit from it. But then everything else has just been, bland. So, so far, this is how my March has looked. It just hasn't been that great at all. Good thing, no losing days. So, that's a good thing. But I think I missed my weekly goal by about $20, which is not bad because it's made up for it. So that's why you take the good with the bad. You don't get crazy. And this is why you have to keep, your account intact. You don't want to pull everything out. You don't want to, make some money, take it out, spend it. And then when you have days and weeks like, we're having now, you don't have any cushion. So looking for next week to pick up. Hopefully, things will get a little bit better and we can, keep moving forward again, keep moving up instead of moving sideways. So I hope everybody had a great weekend. I'm getting ready for tomorrow. Going to look at some things. Try to see if there's any little tweaks I can make. Like I said, I'm not going to make wholesale changes because, I'm just going to maintain until the market comes back and, comes back to me. I'm not going to go chasing it because that's always a bad idea. So enjoy the rest of your Sunday, and I'll see everybody bright and early tomorrow in chat. I think tomorrow may be a free chat Monday. I'm not sure yet, but if you haven't, go to warriortrading.com and sign up to get an alert when we have our free chat days. And you can come in and join us if you're not a member, and just to see what we have going on there. So hope to see everybody tomorrow in chat.